Aloha everybody, Scuba here. Now I want to show you some of the best rods I think Okuma came out with. I'm no longer affiliated with Okuma, but I still believe that these are some of the best rods. Now these are the Rockaway Surf SPs. Okay, these are very versatile rods. There are currently 5 different ones. When I was with them, I had the pleasure to first do the first one, which is here, the 8.5 foot, and I went out with my good friend Jeff Konn, who is a writer here, and him and I did the review on this. We did find an earlier issue, which I called my friend John Bretz at the factory. He was right there. He took care of it on the spot. So luckily, none of the first gens hit the market before the correction was done. But that's the reason why you have field testers, right? So these were originally designed right after the Rockaways were designed. Now these rods were meant to be on a higher tier than the Rockaways. The Rockaways were actually more for lighter fare, like sea perching, but these rods were meant not only for sea perch, but mainly for stripers and other heavier fish besides the perch. Now this demand came from the Pacific side of North America, and it's been around now for Hawaii and other places like Florida and California for just about everything. So this is a very versatile rod. There's 5 different models now, and basically what it was designed for was for shallow sandy surf zones, but you can use it for rocky areas as well. So this rod is the one that started it off, the 8'6". So let me run down what I like about these rods, because they're all built the same. Now the main thing is they're extremely light. They're so light. I can't believe how light they really are, and you wouldn't expect it just by looking at it. They're so light, and they're strong and resilient. Now, like I did say, there was an early design flaw. We took care of that. I called John when he was still at the factory. He had it taken care of before they even started distribution. So since then, no issues whatsoever. So after all the years of using this, look, no fading. This is the original now. Saw so much UV light, still no issues. Now, if you just look at the handle, see the handle system here? You would think, especially with the split grip, you would think that's a C model for casting. This is a spinning model, believe it or not. So after all these years, like I said, no damage, no UV damage, no popped inserts, nothing at all. And I'm going to tell you something. What is my best feature? Right there. See that? That hook keeper is the thickest, strongest thing I've ever seen. It's a trapezoid shape. It's a dual type of design. So strong. I doubt you could ever try to damage that one, because it won't get damaged. So like I said, I have no affiliations with Okuma. I'm doing this on my own. They didn't call and say, hey, Chris, can you give an update report on these rods? I ended up buying my last one, okay? I had the 8.5, then I got the 11, and then my contract expired, and I bought the 10. So I'm doing this on my own. I have nothing to gain from this except sharing my knowledge with what I think is a really good product. So let me give you a quick rundown on the 3 I have, because basically all the rest are the same. It's just the strengths and the lengths, right? So this was the original that me and my friend Jeff Konn, he was at the time a writer for Hawaiian Fishing News, but sadly has passed away recently. He wanted to come along, so Kuma sent him his unit, and we went out and we tested this bad boy here. And you know what? It still blows me away that for a spinning rod, it looks like a bait casting rod, because look at the split grip here. This design here is more for bait casters And look at this. The real seat is right here. And look, no foregrip. There's no foregrip. So it really does look like a base casted rod. Now, on all of them, they have this really nice trapezoid hook keeper. To me, that's the big one right there, because nobody else has one that thick or that strong. So let me go through this first. Make sure that everything's facing towards you, okay? This is the RSP-S-862M. So this is the true original line, recommended line weight, 8 to 17 pound. Lure weight, 1/4 to 5/8. And it can handle up to 3/4, no problem, because we tried. Guides is 7+1, which means a tip. Sections is 2 sections. It's a 50-50 split configuration. Rear grip is 12.5 inches. And this model here is going to be the same as the ML, the medium light, because this is the medium. It's just that the capacity will be slightly different. And the rod power that is rated for is medium on this one. Okay, this one here is my favorite, my puppy, my baby. This is the RSP-S-1002M with a plus sign after the M. That means it's a medium plus, kind of a new designation that unfortunately hasn't caught on, but medium plus basically means it's a medium heavy, okay? Line weight is 10 to 20 pound test, so it's a good range. Lure weight, 1/2 to 3. Now, if you want to go use the 10 foot and drop, there is a lighter model that also came out. Okay, so that one there, you'll be able to use if you want to go lighter, but this one here is 1/2 to 3 ounces. Guides, 9+1. Sections 2 at 50-50 configuration. Rear grip, a little longer at 19.5 inches. Total length is 10 feet in 2 equal parts. And like I said, the rod power is M+. I don't think I've seen M+ used anywhere else. It's basically means moderate plus, which is kind of like a medium heavy. Now this is my last one. It's the longest one. It's also one I've actually tried going light surf casting with, and it's great for jacks to bonefish where I live. All right, this is the RSP-S-1102M+. So, you know, the M+, like I said, is basically medium heavy. And again, like I said, look, all of them, no foregrip. So it does look like you're going to end up with a big caster model because of the way that the handle section is shaped. Kind of weird, yeah? So the line weight recommendation, 10 to 20 pounds. Okay, lure weight, 1/2 to 3, which is kind of like the other one. Guides, 9+1. Sections 2, 50-50 sections. Rear grip is going to be 19.5 inches. Total length of this one's 11 feet. And again, the rod power is M+. So to basically summarize, there are currently 5 models out. I own 3 of them. I have no intention of getting the other 2, which is 8.5, because that one there is a much lighter rating, but I've done light fishing with it, and the rod still can handle light lures as well as heavier lures. And there's no need for that. These 3, I think, will give you the proper range that you want. So which I'm talking about is the 862 ml, the medium light. Unless if you're going to just target lighter fish like crappie for freshwater, or scads or reds for saltwater guys, you really don't need that. So some of the some of the best features I want to point out in these lines are the rods are extremely lightweight and resilient. Again, no foregrips on these, so don't get freaked out thinking that it's a casting model. There's no foregrips on these, and probably never needed it. And it's kind of unusual design, but it works. So there was an early design flaw which is not present on the current models that was taken care of. So after years of usage in the sun, look at that. The colors are still vibrant since the day I bought it. No UV issues whatsoever. The handle system here does suggest that it's not S-Class, but it is. Okay, so basically these are my favorite rods. One of my favorite, I have several favorites, like Guide Select Pros and these. Guide Select Pros is a whole different, it's more of a finesse rod with power. These are just power and lightweight. So basically, that's the whole difference with this line here, which just kind of thought of, yeah, I would stick with these because not only are they lightweight, they feel good, but they're powerful. I've never heard or seen one ever have to go back in because it got snapped or a guide has popped out, all right? So thanks a lot, everybody. Take care.